I have been using the Sovol Zero for 2 months on various projects involving PLA, PETG, ABS, and TPU prints. It has quickly become one of my favorite printers. Being part of the beta test, there were some teething issues, but nothing that couldn't be fixed. I'll tell you all about those and who I think will want to get this practical mini printer right after taking a tour of Sovol's most technically advanced device to date. I promise you will be blown away. If you don't know me yet, I'm Gergo, and this is Gergo Print 3D, my YouTube channel about 3D printing and laser cutting adventures. We've reviewed many Sovol and non-Sovol printers along with laser machines from various brands, but you'll also find plenty of DIY projects and tutorials in our growing video library. As always, curated, translation-ready subtitles and detailed chapter markers make it easier to follow along and enjoy. Let me tackle a few questions from the community up front. Thank you for all the contributions, by the way. It's just a toy, no? Asked Dinah. I don't think. You could very well be the target audience for the Sovol Zero. But let's get back to this question in detail at the end of the video. Pack Super 7 adds, Voron Zero is no toy. The concept is very capable and will print smaller prototype parts very accurate and rapid. And I absolutely agree. Next question from Photo and Web 78461. How well does it print TPU? Right into the heart of things. I tested TPU printing and I experienced no issues using the supplied Orca Slicer generic preset fed through the PTFE tube. I printed Polymaker Polyflex 95 as well as other inexpensive options from AliExpress, GTAC and Kingroon TPU, all printed very well. I'll talk more about this in the later part of the video. As with all Sovol extruders, you can expect the best from the Sovol Zero when it comes to flexibles. Does it have actively heated chamber? No chamber heating, but the bed goes up to 120 C, and I was able to heat the chamber to 45-50 degrees in a matter of minutes, thanks to a trick that I'll show you when we get to the printing with various filaments in the video. I was able to print ABS without any issues. In fact, the chamber fan in here includes a carbon filter. Paraphrasing Darth Avocado 14's question, is it a Voron? Yes, this is based on the Voron 0.2, but a tad bigger at 152 millimeters cube, and includes some nifty improvements like the eddy sensor, camera, and tangle detector, which you could all add to a Voron. The next questions are follow-ups from Photo and Web. Did you experience stringing? Yes, I did get more stringing than with the SVO8. I think it is a tuning issue though. Sovol has exactly a week until the release of the printer to fine-tune their retraction settings. How is bed adhesion? My first 3D Banshee failed because of bed adhesion problems. An isopropyl wipe down and an occasional water diluted glue stick coating completely cured the issue for me. What is your bed range? Again, going for the details. I got it from 0.3 millimeters down to near 0.1 millimeters. And it wasn't hard. I'll show you how in an upcoming dedicated video shortly. But I'm pretty sure production units will be tuned even more precisely out of the box. Then we get a bunch of great questions from Michael Ramos 4482. Is the hot end identical to the SVO8? The direct drive extruders look similar, but the heat blocks and nozzles are different, as well as the bed probing system. I wish the nozzle were the same because it would make so much sense to print with a 0.2 millimeter nozzle on such a small device. but I cannot use my SVO8 0.2mm nozzle here, so I have to wait for friends at Sovol to send me a 0.2mm nozzle specifically for the Sovol Zero. I see they've redesigned the shroud a little. Is it any easier to see the first layer go down? And would it fit the SVO8? The later two questions were added by spool sample print CO. Sad to say, but the visibility of the first layer is about the same. Although the SVO8 cover fits the Zero, the Zero's cover doesn't quite click on to the SVO8's tool head. What kind of sensor does it use for bed leveling? We go back to Michael's questions. This is my first printer with the eddy sensor, scanning the bed in a matter of seconds. I hope Sovol releases an update for the SVO8 with this exact system. But there is more high-tech in the bed, actually. The load cell is now integrated and measures an accurate Z offset before every print. And the first layers are top-notch. I did not need to adjust it once during my time with the printer. Is it running stock Clipper? Just like other Sovol printers, this also has a fully open installation of Clipper, including full access to the file system and SSH. And with more and more companies locking their systems down, let's appreciate this from Sovol. What kind of accelerations are possible? Graph of the input shaper. Top speed is quoted to be 500 versus the 700 for the SVO8. Both tend to be exaggerated, we know, but the ratio might hint at what to expect. I plan to make a separate video on measurements like I did for the SVO8. Is Sovol planning a multi-material system in the future? I know they are, but this printer is not prepared for multicolor automatic filament change. No filament cutter, no poop chute, but material changers are only economical if you can print a large number of the same model, not possible on a 6x6 inch bed. Does it have Ethernet and HDMI ports? Yes, it has both. Plugging in my SVO8 HDMI screen, the UI seems to be stock Clipper. They've added a branded boot screen. Otherwise, the rest of the connectivity is also the same, though they've added this external Wi-Fi antenna here, and I did not have any problem with reception. So far, only my Tech Q1 Pro acted up with my network, and it was fixed by plugging in a USB Wi-Fi adapter. Does the Zero have a super loud fan like the SVO8, or could you comfortably run it in an office? I would say the idle fan is much more office friendly. I have it on right now and I bet you cannot hear it. But when it prints, that's another story. Part cooling on the SVO8 is not bad, but the auxiliary curtain fan in the Zero takes it to the next level. It's so effective, I was able to print PLA and PETG with the door and top closed. Of course, it is still better to keep them open. I found the exhaust fan cover to be very handy to prop the top lid, which makes a perfect sense since it is supposed to be removed from the exhaust fan anyway when printing non-high temp filaments. Is there an expected release price date? Both. Sovol tells us people can order it from the 27th of March in just about a week. And the initial price will be $399 if you are quick. Please use my affiliate links to get the printer so they know you heard about it from me. Had your macros installed on SVO8 from day one, and the print quality really is amazing. First, thank you for the kind feedback and all the support. I plan to make my macros and the few adjustments available to the community once again, but so far there is much less need for improvements since Sovol did a really good job both with startup macros and Orca Slicer profiles for the Zero. I was able to print all the materials well without further tuning, just the generic presets. See my material tests in the third half of this video. Thank you all for commenting on such short notice. Keep the questions coming. I'll get back to them in upcoming videos about the Zero. The first time I heard about this printer, it was still called the SVO8 Mini. But then someone at the company must have realized this is quite different and so much more than just a miniature version of the justly popular Giant from Sovol. Yes, it is also a Core XY running on all linear rails, and the stock printer comes with the same mini screen. Both are Voron derivatives, but the similarities actually stop here. Besides the obvious size difference, the Zero having about 1/12 of the build volume, it doesn't have a non-enclosed option. However, its enclosure is of the same, if not higher quality, with sheet metal side panels, a glass door, and glass top. The door opens to the left, and there is no easy way to switch it to the other side unless you're willing to drill new holes. The top lid has a unique locking mechanism. As for motion, we have a drop bed system here, lifted by two coupled lead screws. As someone who coupled the Z columns of my T300, I'm very happy with this solution, though you'll see it needed a bit of adjustment. Don't worry, nothing difficult. A single motor drives both sides, meaning no wasted time on gantry leveling before prints. The PEI sheet is double-sided with both sides textured. The AC heated bed heats up in a matter of seconds. I have all the measurements for you in a follow-up video, along with input shaper graphs and all the rest. Just be subscribed. I love that the printer doesn't need to be flipped over to access the electronics. They are behind the easy to remove back panel here. My beta tester colleagues marveled at how powerful and expandable the controller board is. I, being less knowledgeable on this front, just enjoyed its reliable, solid performance. Sovol now provides OTA updates for the firmware right from the mini screen, which worked flawlessly during testing. I still made image backups using the same method I showed in this older video. And as promised, in the follow-up section, I'll show you a few projects I did with this pre-release Sovol Zero. If you've watched my channel, I did a pretty bad job keeping this little marvel a secret. I already bragged about its probing speed, showed it printing a pin in my YouTube short just last week, and printed parts of the balance game we featured in a recent printer review. I even printed one of the springs for an upcoming mod I improved for my Creality K2 Plus. That'll be in another video, but the Sovol Zero will get its share of the fame there. The biggest thing I printed, this cute dino pencil holder, and it turned out awful. We were really puzzled about what could cause such atrocious Z-banding. Then I realized the heat block had come loose. In my pre-production unit, they didn't use any Loctite on the screws securing the nozzle. I added some and tightened the screws, and the reprint turned out perfect. So yes, PLA prints great, but that's kind of table stakes, of course. So let's raise the ante. PETG. My shower door handle broke, so I quickly designed an easy replacement. Of course, I used the Sovol Zero to print these small parts out of PETG. They printed quickly and turned out great. No bending, no nozzle trouble. I was lucky the first prototype fit like a glove. I'm a little proud of my idea to use a zip tie to secure them. Getting back to the topic, PETG gets a big check mark too on the Sovol Zero. How about something that needs an enclosure? ABS. The toothbrush squeezer I printed 4 years ago recently broke. I originally printed it out of PETG on my old Van Howe printer. This time I reprinted it out of ABS on the Zero. Hopefully it will last more than 4 years this time. I placed the printer in my entryway and opened my front door for better ventilation. It was 7 degrees outside, pretty cold. Still, the chamber heated to 47 degrees fairly quickly. My trick? A hairdryer speeds up preheating, and then the 100-degree bed does a good job of maintaining the temperature inside, even when ambient temp in the room is as low as 10 degrees in my case. I use Creality ABS White, which I got from geekbuying.com. Very good ABS, by the way. Links in the description. There was some stringing though, so I had to use a heat gun to clean it up. But the Zero prints ABS with zero problems. But is it flexible enough for the next filament? TPU. I used the stock spool holder on the back. I hear it is moved to the side in production units, and routed the soft filament through the tangle detector and the entire PTFE tube. The standard filament load command fed it in on the very first attempt, no problem. I first tested Polymaker Polyflex 95. No under extrusion, no bed adhesion issues, and no problems releasing the print from the bed afterwards. I applied the glue stick to ensure it didn't stick too well. A bit more stringing with TPU is kind of expected, but what about more inexpensive brands? I tried the translucent green from G-Tech, which I got cheaply on AliExpress. No problem. It turned out just as great. King Rune Red, similar softness, same source, very good price. With the Sovol Zero, you don't have to buy expensive TPU. There's some kind of anniversary sale going on with extra special coupon codes this week. I'll put links and codes in the description below. The only tiny issue I found with TPU was that the stock onload command had to be issued twice to get these softer filaments out of the extruder. But on the second attempt, they always retracted okay. So the big question, who is the Sovol Zero for? It wasn't designed to be an all-rounder. Too small for that, unless maybe for a child. But my little nephew already got a mini printer in his room. I believe the Sovol Zero is an ideal second printer though, especially if you are thinking about adding an enclosed machine to your existing 300 plus size printer. Regular viewers know we have quite a few printers, a couple of them quite large. So why did I use the Sovol Zero so much in the past 2 months? Because almost every project includes smaller parts and accessories, which are just more convenient to print on a small printer. The print bed heats up quicker. Bed probing with the eddy sensor is a breeze, and the Zero has proven to be extremely reliable. Everything I've thrown at it has printed well. And let's not deny it, it will be the cutest looking printer on your workbench. And if you are indeed getting this printer, again, please use our link in the description below. If you are quick, you'll get the same early bird price and I'll get a small commission. Huge thank you to the friends at Sovol for making this all possible. You can also support and connect with us on ko-fi.com, the best place to do it. And be sure to like and subscribe because there is so much more to discover and show you. I already have a lot planned. Until then, check out our previous videos where the Sovol Zero has already made sneaky appearances. You'll see the eddy sensor in this one and the multicolored dice for the balance game printing in this other one, because we go print 3D on the Sovol Zero as well. Thank you for watching another Gergo Print 3D video all the way to the end.